All right, welcome to our deal of the week. We got a really cool house in St. Petersburg. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,200 square feet. It does have a St. Pete address, but it's almost a Seminole. I'm going to show you the map in just a second. But let's go through our 4 rules for snagging a great deal in today's buyer's market. And there's no doubt we are in a buyer's market. Remember, if you're out there looking, you set the price. If something's been on the market for a month, it's overpriced. I don't know what to tell you. And you're not going to pay list for that. Try to stick with established neighborhoods. We're not really looking to be a pioneer at this point. The market doesn't support that. So look for established neighborhoods. Do your best to look for low maintenance properties as well. Always scan the description for phrases like newer roof, HVAC, any electrical upgrades, plumbing upgrades. We got a lot of older housing stock here in St. Pete. So if a house was built in the 40s or 50s, it might have galvanized pipes. And really, we'd like to see some upgrades if possible. Also, these are the 4 points in your 4-point inspection, and we want to make sure that we can get insurance on the house too. So we want upgrades, and then try to stick to houses that have broad appeal features, and that typically means, I hate to say it because there's a lot of 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses in St. Pete. They're harder to sell in a slower market. That's just a fact. So if you find yourself in a couple of years needing to sell before you otherwise wanted to, and the market's soft, it's a lot easier to sell a 2-bedroom, 2-bath or a 3-2 than it is a 2-1. So let's just jump into this house, and I'm going to show you on the map where it is because it has a St. Pete address, but it is a ways out there. You can see it's right on the edge of Seminole, and here's downtown over here. So this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,200 square feet. Here's what I love about it right here. We're down under $250 a square foot for a move-in ready house. Now this one's interesting because it had a $40,000 price drop, but it had been a successful Airbnb for the last 3 or 4 years. So we're looking at an owner that doesn't live there. They decided to get out of the Airbnb game. My guess is that they're probably going to be motivated at this point. And then there's a big bonus here on this house that I think you're going to love, and we'll save that for a minute. So just looking at the outside pictures, you can see it's sort of a standard ranch style house with a nice pergola, but that's a lake right there. You have a beautiful lake view house, and it's a little bit hard to tell from this picture, but that's what you're looking at here. I don't know, honestly, myself, I wouldn't put a TV right here. I'd maybe find another wall for it so that I can enjoy the view out to the lake, but that's what they did. And you can see there's some nice custom touches with the beams here, and looks like a tiled wall. And you'll see as we go through the pictures, this is really set up as an Airbnb. It's it's a house that, the owner has set up for people who stay there to have some fun. We've got a pool table here, obviously, lots and lots of seating outside under this pergola, seating out on the dock out here. From the front, it doesn't look, honestly, that great. So honestly, from the front, it doesn't have like tons and tons of curb appeal. It is an Airbnb, so I'm not surprised that the landscaping is not maybe top notch, but it is pretty nice. Looks like it could use a new garage door and maybe a little tree trimming here and there. But look at the, kitchen is beautiful. Now, that looks at first glance like solid surface, but the telltale sign, as you can see, like little seams here on the edges. That tells me these are Formica countertops. The cabinets look relatively new. They look, fairly modern. Appliances look good, beautiful lighting here, but they did not replace the countertops. Obviously not the end of the world. And there we go with that beautiful lake view back there. Again, I'd get rid of that TV. Tons of seating at sort of the breakfast bar here. Very interesting layout to this house. A lot of angles and corners, and somebody customized it along the way. And there's 2 beds in sort of the primary suite. Another telltale sign of an Airbnb. But everything looks nice and clean and fresh and modern. I don't think this was a renovation in the last 2 or 3 years, but maybe in the last 10 years. I got a sauna in one of the bedrooms. A lot of extra beds. And you can see tons and tons of outside space here. So a really, really sort of fun house. And they've got it listed as a 4-bedroom. Now, the 4th bedroom is in the garage, could be reconverted back to a garage if you wanted, if you just needed a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This house is in the flood zone X, so you're not required to buy flood insurance here, even though you're on the water. It's just a small lake is really what it is. We don't know a ton about the systems in here. That's something we'd want to find out probably before we went out to see it. We don't know roof, AC, electric, or plumbing situation. So this house has been on the market now for a little over 3 months. They started out at $575. They're down to $535. That $242 a square foot for a move-in ready house on the water, man. I'm telling you, it's getting close to where it becomes really, really tempting. This is a little far out from the downtown, if that's okay with you. Again, no flood. The crime score is not listed here for some reason. I'm not sure. So let's just go through the rules check real quick. Listed 105 days ago at $575. Maybe ready to negotiate. If this is an investor, maybe they're just ready to get out. Looking at the street view, most of the houses are relatively small on this lake, but otherwise in good shape. So this looks like an established neighborhood. I did look up on the seller's disclosure, and the roof was 8 years, the AC was 15 years. So we would be looking to make an offer probably contingent on a new AC, or just deduct $7,500 from the purchase price, or look to get a closing credit knowing that a 15-year-old AC, especially if it's been a rental or an Airbnb where people are not paying the electric bill and probably cranking it down in the summer, probably has some wear on it. As far as broad appeal goes, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm never crazy about a converted garage unless it's like really super well done, and it did look like it was well done, but it could be removed and you'd still have a 3-2. So the price value here is $242 a square foot versus $285 for the neighborhood average. It's 20% lower than the neighborhood average. I mean, I'm not saying there's no downside risk here in a softer market, but when you're buying a move-in ready house that's on a lake, that doesn't require flood insurance, that looks pretty nice on the inside for 20% less than the neighborhood average, I'm kind of liking that. And again, no flood insurance required here. So let me know what you think. This is a really cool house. Looks like a fun house, whether for family or if you have a lot of people over. This would be great entertaining house. 2,200 square feet, so plenty of room. Make a comment. Let me know. Do you think this one's still overpriced? $499. Would you take it at $499? I think that's a pretty good price. As always, my name is Steve Reynolds. I'm a realtor here in St. Pete. If you're looking to buy and you need some help, send me a text, email, give me a call. Love to help you out. That's our deal of the week, and I'll see you next time.